The United States Naval Air Systems Command is considering Raytheon Missiles and Defense to develop a new seeker system to extend the service life of the Harpoon missile. Since its introduction in the 1970s, the Harpoon missile has been the U.S. Navy's primary surface attack weapon. Despite its Cold War origins, the missile has undergone various updates to adapt to modern threats. The latest version, the Harpoon Block 2+, has a range of up to 124 kilometers and is the latest mainstay of the U.S. naval fleet. The modernization of the missile seeker system is part of the U.S. Navy's strategic move to counter potential threats from Chinese maritime power in the Indo-Pacific region. In the official request document, Naval mentioned that RTX is the only company with the technical capability to design and manufacture the Harpoon seeker system. In the past, Raytheon had provided sensors to Boeing, the lead company in Harpoon production in the 1990s. In addition, RTX worked with Norwegian defense company Kongsberg to offer the Naval Strike Missile NSM to the U.S. Navy. The NSM is now used on littoral combat ships and one Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, and is slated to be the armament of the newest Constellation-class frigate. While countries such as the UK and Australia have switched to NSM, the US Navy has opted to retain Harpoon, even reviving an announced underwater launch variant in 2021. Boeing states that the Navy's large stockpile of Harpoon Block YCs can be modified to be submarine-launched capable. On the other hand, the Harpoon production line is also actively fulfilling Taiwan's order for 400 coastal defense missiles. This move to modernize old weapon systems while still producing new units reflects U.S. concerns over the availability of high-precision missiles in long-term war scenarios. An important lesson from the armed conflicts taking place in Ukraine, the Middle East, and the Red Sea. The modernization of the Harpoon missile is not a single step, but part of the U.S. Navy's comprehensive approach to building combat readiness to face challenges from countries of equal military power. In recent years, Washington has shifted its military focus to the Indo-Pacific region, primarily to match China's rapidly growing and increasingly aggressive naval power in the South China Sea and beyond. China's rise as a global sea power is pushing the U.S. to strengthen long-range strike platforms, advanced detection systems, and high-precision weaponry that can be relied upon in large-scale maritime conflicts. In this context, the continued use of the Harpoon missile, despite its age, is considered strategic because the stockpile is abundant, the supporting infrastructure is mature, and technological upgrades are still possible. The conflict in Ukraine and tensions in the Red Sea have shown how important the availability of precision ammunition stocks is in conflicts that cannot be resolved in a matter of days. Precision-guided missiles like Harpoon are needed not only for offensive missions, but also to maintain maritime superiority in long-range combat. Some military analysts have even mentioned that these modernized old-era missiles could be a quick counterbalance in emergency situations, where the production time of new generation missiles cannot always meet immediate operational needs. Meanwhile, the United States also continues to explore international collaboration options in missile development. The NSM, Naval Strike Missile, developed with Kongsberg, is one clear example of how strategic cooperation can accelerate the integration of weapons into various sea platforms. The missile has advantages in cruising range, radar avoidance capability, and high accuracy against moving targets. The U.S. Navy is striking a balance between maintaining legacy systems such as Harpoon and integrating new systems such as NSM SM-6 and Maritime Strike Tomahawk. This move is believed to provide tactical and operational flexibility in a variety of modern naval combat scenarios. The U.S. Navy's modernization of its weapon systems, including the reinforcement of Harpoon missiles, has not gone unnoticed by China. Beijing views any U.S. military buildup in the Indo-Pacific region as a form of strategic provocation aimed at containing China's regional influence. Chinese state media openly criticized this U.S. move as part of the politics of encirclement of the region around the South China Sea. In addition, China is also accelerating the development of its own anti-ship missiles, including the DF-21D and DF-26 systems dubbed aircraft carrier killers, as a counterbalance to U.S. sea power. The deployment of A2/AD, anti-access area denial systems, in the disputed area is also expanding, with radar installations and missile launchers on artificial islands. On the other hand, the Harpoon Missile Life Extension Project also provided a major boost to the U.S. defense industry, particularly Raytheon and Boeing. With increasing global demand for anti-ship missiles and replenishment needs in long-term conflicts, the U.S. defense sector is experiencing a surge in production. The previously limited-scale Harpoon production facility is now back in business, handling large orders, including exports to partner countries such as Taiwan, Japan, and some Eastern European countries. This also demonstrates the importance of flexible and renewable weapon systems, rather than relying solely on more expensive and complex new platforms. Overall, the modernization of the Harpoon missile marks a new phase in the defense technology competition between the world's major powers. For the United States, maintaining maritime superiority is not enough to build new warships, but also to ensure every weapon system is capable of meeting the needs of a modern battlefield. Amid global geopolitical uncertainty and the potential for open conflict in the Indo-Pacific region, steps like this are not just modernization. They signal Washington's readiness and seriousness in maintaining its influence in the vast ocean.